No, the door's locked, mate. Why are you trying to open the door, Constable?
Sorry?
Can you give me a name and number, please? It's an absolute fallacy. Absolute fallacy. You...
Here we break down real encounters between everyday people and police so viewers can clearly understand the law, the actions taken, and the situation. As it unfolds, we explain your rights, their duties, and exactly where the boundary stands. A big thank you to Pirate J England for allowing this audit to be reviewed and analyzed. Support his work by subscribing to his channel and liking his videos. The link is provided in the description below. In this episode, Pirate J England is stopped after an officer claims his van appears overweight with no scales present and no proper check carried out. It is based only on assumption rather than proof. Instead of confirming facts, the situation is stretched out as officers continue pressing for access while relying on compliance without clearly stating any lawful authority that supports the stop. This turns into pressure through persistence rather than action grounded in law. When he eventually agrees to the inspection they had been pushing for, the entire claim falls apart completely. The van is fully legal, and the suspicion proves to be incorrect, and the situation concludes exactly as it should have, with him leaving freely and the matter ending with nothing further to justify the stop.
Hello there. No, the door's locked, mate. Why are you trying to open the door, Constable?
Sorry?
Can you give me a name and number, please? Right, I've got your number. Why are you trying to open the door?
I hope you don't intend to put that on YouTube.
It's nothing to do with whether I do or not.
Why?
Because I'm lawfully allowed to. This man stopped me for being overweight. You can clearly see I'm not overweight. It's an absolute fallacy. So we can get his bit over and done with, and then everyone will be happy.
Okay.
Right, fair enough then, Constable. Thank you very much. No problem whatsoever. No problem whatsoever, Constable.
Okay.
There's no malice or injustice towards you today.
My colleague got your driving licence?
No, he has not.
Has he requested your driving licence?
He said, and I asked him, am I obliged to give my details until he's done his bit? And he did walked off. He didn't say anything else.
You are obliged to do that. So if an officer requests your driving licence...
And if I haven't got it on me, what happens?
Obliged to do so.
And if I do not have it with me?
If you haven't, then you're required to give us your name and address and your date of birth.
I don't have to give my date of birth, Constable.
Yes,
Under what law?
If you do not produce your driving licence...
Under what law?
You are obliged
Under what law, Constable?
Under the Road Traffic Act.
That's an act, Constable, not law.
The moment the officer reaches for the van door without saying a word, the tone shifts in the wrong direction from the start. You do not begin an interaction by taking access to someone else's vehicle and then try to explain it later. What follows is a search for details dressed up with a reference to the Road Traffic Act, as if simply naming it creates authority. Calling this out is important because an act is not unlimited power. It is built from clear sections that require clear conditions, and those conditions must be met before any action is taken. The officer cannot point to a section that applies because none fits this situation, and that is why the explanation stays unclear and the approach leans on confidence rather than lawful clarity, and that lack of precision exposes the weakness in the entire interaction.
Constable, it's an act.
Address if you cannot produce your driving
It's an act, Constable. It's an act, not law. Please
It's
distinguish it.
country.
No, it's not law of the country, Constable. It's an act made by Parliament. It's not law.
If you don't do so...
It's not law.
If you do not do so...
It's not law.
Just let me finish. If you do not do so, the officer may arrest you.
Under what law? Under what law?
He may arrest
Under
you.
what law?
I'm just telling you.
Under what law, though, Constable?
I'm just telling you.
Please explain under what law.
I'm just telling you what will happen. Front wheels onto the weighing plate.
Do not demand I do anything, Constable. There's nothing taking place
Put your
here.
wheels onto the weighing plate.
Is that a demand or a request? Yep, I understand that. But why is your constable trying to open my van doors as well? What, for what lawful reason did your another constable trying to open my door?
I didn't see that, so I was inside.
Well, it's on film, so I've got it on film. I've got his number.
Now that I'm here.
Where do you want me to stop?
Now
on
that I'm here.
Yeah, I fully understand.
You do what I ask you.
I am. I've been
compliant. I want to get you on
compliant.
your way.
Yeah.
I need to see the weighing certificate on the side of your car. Is that all right?
You know this van don't do it. I've got the MOT in here somewhere, so I'll give you that.
I need to know your weights.
I'll give you the MOT. That says it on it.
MOT, what are the weights on it?
Right, no, constable. I'm not
I need
overweight.
to see your weights.
I'm not
I need
overweight.
to know if you've committed an offence.
The story keeps shifting because there is no solid ground holding it in place. One moment an arrest is hinted at, and the next there is still no clear offense named and no legal power explained. Threatening arrest without stating a reason is not real authority, it is intimidation used to push compliance where the law should already be clear. Then a second officer steps in and asks for a weighing slip just to figure out if any offense has even happened, and that move reveals everything you do not Threaten arrest first and then search for proof after. If the van was truly overweight, they would already know the exact power they were using, and they would act with certainty instead of guessing their way through, and that lack of direction shows the situation was built on assumption rather than fact.
So you can let me see the weight on
Yeah,
your
so
door.
you can gain access to the vehicle while I'm in here, Constable. That's all it's to do
You
with.
can let me open the door.
Am I overweight?
Without checking your plate, how can I tell?
Am I overweight?
I need to see your weights on your vehicle to know what you're allowed. I can't make it up.
I've got the logbook here.
It won't be on your logbook.
It will. The van weight's on the logbook.
Okay. May I look at that then?
The van weight's on the logbook.
All right.
No, I'm going to have a look first, though, Constable.
A bit unnecessary.
No, Constable.
Why is that?
It's unnecessary. You saying I'm overweight when you think I'm overweight.
I form an opinion.
No.
I
Don't
have
even
to
start
form
that
an
one now.
opinion to do something.
No.
I thought you were speeding. I have to form that opinion.
Revenue weight, gross weight, 3,500 kilograms.
But I need to know what your axles are.
3,500 kilograms is what I'm
That's the weight.
allowed.
That's the vehicle.
No,
I
Constable.
need to know what each individual axle is. It weighs in
Well,
each
you best
individual
go
axle.
can you go and check up on your database, then, please?
No, I haven't got access. It's on your van.
Can you go and check up on
It's
your
on your
database,
van.
Constable?
I'll have to keep you here for an indefinite period then until you let me look at your van.
Well, that's as may be, Constable, but it's on the
Okay.
logbook and it says I'm
Why are
3,000.
you being so unreasonable?
Because you.
The moment documents enter the picture, the confidence disappears. Jay refuses access to the van and instead hands over the logbook, the document that clearly states the vehicle's weight. Rather than deal with that, the officer admits he's acting on assumption and shrugs it off with, "I form an opinion." That's the problem in one sentence. An opinion isn't evidence, and it doesn't outrank paperwork or databases police already have. Jay even points them to their own system to check it properly, but instead he's threatened with being kept there indefinitely and accused of being unreasonable. That's backwards.
Hasn't happened.
Okay. How can I establish that without bringing you to somewhere like this?
Because you should already have this on your bits, Constable, whether you
No.
know whether people are or
No.
not.
Would you let me see the plate on your van? That will sort it out within 10 seconds and then you can go.
I don't trust you, Constable.
You don't what?
I don't trust none of your corporation, Constable.
You don't trust me?
No.
Why is that? What have I done to make you distrust me?
Well, several things what are going on recent in the papers and everything else.
Have
On
you
the
ever
news.
met me before?
It's nothing to do with that.
Have I ever met you before?
It's the name of
So
the
why should I
corporation.
treat you any different to
It's
anybody
the
else?
name of the corporation, Constable. I'm sorry.
Sorry?
It's not my fault. The name of the corporation has taken a bad name.
I don't understand what you're trying to tell me.
Your corporation has took a bad name for
What's my
make it-
corporation?
the police.
I need to know your axles.
No, it needs to know the weight of the whole
Give me
thing.
some axle weights.
It's
I
giving
need
the
to
weight of the
know-
whole thing. We'll weigh the whole van then.
I've just weighed your front axle.
Right.
I've weighed your rear axle.
Right.
Together is your overall weight.
Right.
But then each axle has a restriction on how much it can carry. And I need to know if the weights that it's told me.
At this stage it becomes persistence with no clear purpose even after the documents are shown and the weight is accounted for. The officer continues pushing to get inside the van, as if access itself has become the goal. Jay saying he does not trust the situation is not paranoia, it is a direct response to how the stop has unfolded from the beginning. The sudden shift toward axle weight confirms what is happening. You do not change direction unless the original claim has already failed. The vehicle has already been checked as a whole, and introducing new angles is not proper enforcement. It is a way to keep the stop going after the initial suspicion has already fallen apart, and that continued push only highlights the lack of a solid lawful basis from the start.
And that information, it is literally inside your door.
Yeah,
on a
inside the door.
sticker.
Inside the door, Constable.
Well, will you let me look at it?
I'm not obliged to let you in my vehicle, Constable, when you can do this
Okay.
from there. You can
Okay.
do this from there, Constable.
Sorry?
You can do this from there.
From where?
You know whether the whole van, if that back axle overweighs, it would weigh total. It's not the axle, it's what's in on top of the axle.
But each axle has a restriction.
Whatever
on
is
its
sitting
weight.
on the back of that top axle
Right.
would overweigh that bridge if it was overweight in total. Absolute guaranteed.
But
I
each
understand how
axle-
weight bridges work.
Each axles can be different weights.
Right.
You're very light on your front.
Right, so that's perfectly alright. So there's nothing wrong with the front. So now
You're heavy on your back.
No,
so
I'm
I need
not.
to know what it is on the back.
It's not over on the back, it's just proved it on there.
Sorry, it doesn't.
It just proved it, it just showed you the weight.
Yeah, but it doesn't tell me what you are.
Constable, if I put 10 tonne of weight on your shoulders, your body and the 10 tonne weigh. It's not just the axle. Please do not test my intelligence. Whatever's in the back will push down on the axle and show an axle weight.
I know the laws of physics.
Right, so exactly. So why can't your laws of physics on there?
I still need to know.
No, you still need to gain access to my vehicle. That's what you're trying to gain access to.
I'm not trying to gain access. I'm just trying to get some information, which will get you out of here faster than you realise.
Nothing to do with getting out.
Jay nails it, and the officer doesn't like it. He's under no obligation to let anyone into his vehicle. Yet somehow Jay ends up explaining basic weight limits and common sense to the person claiming authority. When facts don't bend, the officer switches tactics and labels him awkward. The oldest deflection there is. That word isn't about behavior. It's about frustration. It's what gets used when someone won't surrender their rights to make an interaction easier. By calling Jay awkward, he's trying to reframe resistance as attitude because it's easier than acknowledging the stop.
I'm not worried about it. Why are you saying I'm worried?
Sorry?
Why are you saying I'm worried? I'm not worried.
You allow me access to the van. What do you think I'm going to do when I open the door? Attack you or something?
I don't trust you. I don't trust you.
You don't trust me?
No.
What have I done to make you
Nothing
feel
what you do, Constable.
threatened?
It's the corporation.
What have I
People
done?
get maimed and die in the name of that police name. People have been maimed and died, several in the last year, under that name. So I'm staying this side of the door. Okay. You're all armed with weaponry.
I'll tell you what I'll do.
You're all armed with weaponry.
I'll tell you what I'll do.
You're all armed with weaponry.
Make it easy for yourself.
You've got weaponry about your person.
What I'll do,
that can be used at will, Constable.
Give me a chance to talk.
Don't clench your fist at me.
What I'll do to make it easy for you is I'll go over there. You have a look. You write it down. I'll even give you my pen.
No, it doesn't matter.
You write it down for me, and then
the minute I open this door, you'll be rifling through everything. You'll be doing. No, I don't trust you, Constable.
Use your own pen. Write it down for me.
I don't trust you, Constable.
Sorry?
I don't trust you.
Because you're refusing to give me the information that I need.
It's nothing to do with the information.
That question flips responsibility where it doesn't belong. Jay doesn't owe them an explanation for saying no, especially after a stop built on assumptions that keep getting rewritten. Refusing access isn't about fear. It's about boundaries. And those boundaries matter even more when several officers are pressing for entry without ever naming a clear power or reason. The imbalance couldn't be clearer. They have the uniforms, the radios, the numbers, and the authority to detain. He has paperwork and the right to keep his vehicle private. That right doesn't disappear because officers find it inconvenient. When persistence replaces justification, holding the line isn't evasive. It's the only way to stop a stop turning into a search by wear own rather than law.
You're holding up another member of the public.
That just gives me the gross vehicle weight.
Right.
He's trying to do his job of work.
And what do you think I'm doing? Going about my business, Constable? You're holding me up. I'm not refusing. But I'll get out then.
Why would I want to do anything different?
Because your corporation live on corruption. I'm sorry, Constable. That's the way it works. Right, so where's this super plate then? It isn't it? Absolute fallacy. You pulled me on the accusation I was overweight.
Would I be allowed to look under the
You
bonnet?
pulled me on the allegation I was overweight, and it's an absolute fallacy.
I've checked the weights, and you're within the limits that are allowed.
Right, thank you, Constable. I just think this is a bit over the top. I've had a lot of bad press in Cambridge Police.
My details?
No, it's all right. I've got everyone's numbers. I'm going.
What truly captures this moment is when the officers accuse Jay of delaying the driver behind him, even though they are the ones who stopped both vehicles. Jay did not cause any delay. The police created it. Shifting blame like that is not about safety or traffic control. It is a pressure tactic designed to make the driver feel responsible for a situation caused entirely by the stop itself. By the time Jay finally allows access and shows the rear of the van, it is not because anything new has been discovered. It is because the interaction has been stretched long enough to wear patience down. He has already provided documents, explained the weight limits, and pointed toward checks that could have been done from the beginning. Allowing a look inside does not justify the stop. It simply brings an end to a situation driven by persistence rather than proof, and the conclusion makes everything clear. The final system check confirms the van is within legal limits, exactly as Jay stated from the start. No offense is found, no further action is taken, and he drives away freely. When viewed correctly, this was not a case of officers uncovering a borderline issue. It was a case of refusing to accept a mistake, placing blame on Jay for delays they caused, and extending the stop until the facts forced it to end. If you found this breakdown useful, make sure to like the video, share it with others, and subscribe to support the channel and keep accountability in focus.